Exercise C3, Proportions Problems. Number 1. A chainsaw requires a fuel mixture of 1 part oil to 6 parts gas. Can has a gas can that has 24 liters of gas in it. A. Write a proportion that you can use to determine the amount of oil he must add. So I've decided to write the oil to gas ratio on the left side, so oil at the top, gas at the bottom. So now I know that he has 24 liters of gas, so 24 is with the gas part in the denominator, and we're looking for how much oil he needs at the top. So once again, to solve proportion, we can use cross multiplication. 24 times 1, 6 times x. So I have statement 24 equals to 6x, divide by 6, x is 4. So he must add 4 liters of oil. Number 2. A soup recipe for 6 people calls for 2 cups of pasta. Sally is having 9 friends over for dinner. So the proportion that we can use is 6 people compared to 2 cups of pasta, so 6 over 2. What is this equivalent to? It's equivalent to 9 people over x cups of pasta. So now cross multiply, I get 6x equals to 18. Divide by 6, I have x equals 3. Therefore, she needs 3 cups of pasta. Number 3. Many artists use ratios to draw the human body. Usually, the ratio of a person's height to leg length is about 1.7 to 1. How long would the leg of a person 165 centimeters tall be? Answer to the nearest centimeters. Ooh, that's a lot of reading. That's okay, because let's pick out what's important here. So we know we're talking about a ratio of a person's height to leg. So 1 point height to leg is 1.7 to 1. So now I know a person is 165 centimeters tall, so that goes into the height section, compared to the leg length, which is unknown. So from this organizer, we can say 1.7 over 165 is equal to 1 over x. Cross multiply, I get 1.7x equals 1 times 165. And then divide by 1.7, I get 97. So the leg of a 167 centimeter tall person is 97 centimeters. 4. The ruby-throated hummingbird flaps its wings about 250 times every 5 seconds. How many times will it flap its wings in a minute? Show your work. So now when we talk about time in a question, we're dealing with seconds and minutes. So we can't do that, so we must use one consistent unit. We're going to use seconds. I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So when I set up the proportion, it will look like this. The number of times it flaps its wings, 250 in 5 seconds. This is equal to the number of times it flaps its wings, x, in, so over 60 seconds. So cross multiply, divide by 5, you get 3,000 flapping in every minute. Number 5. Josephine works as a nurse. The recommended dosage of flu vaccine for a 15 kilogram child is 0.2 milliliters. Determine what dosage she should give a 22 kilogram child if the ratio remains the same. Show your work. So here we have a child's weight, so 15 kilograms, and the dosage 0.2 milliliters. So 15 over 0.2. And this should equal to the weight to dosage ratio, so 22 over x. So once again, cross multiply, divide by 15, you have 0.29. What does this number represent? It means Josephine should use a 0.29 milliliters dosage. Multiple choice questions. At a certain time of day, a person who is 1.6 meters tall casts a shadow 0.9 meters long. So once you read sentences like that, you can write it on the side. 1.6 meters is going with 0.9. At the same time, a person who is 1.8 meters tall casts a shadow L meters long. So again, group this information together, 1.8 to L. Which proportion can be used to determine L? Let's see. We got A, 0.9 over 1.6, L over 1.8. It goes in the same order, so that looks good. How about the other ones? Why are they wrong? You have 0.9 over 1.6, but 1.8 over L. So the heights are not matching up in the same position, so this is not right. And then for C, where did 3.4 come from? They must have added the height, which is incorrect. And D, 3.8, don't know where that came from either. So A is the correct answer. Number 7. Bonnie earned $76.50 in 6 hours at her part-time job. How much can she earn in a week in which she works 28 hours? Okay, so we have her salary, $76.50 in 6 hours, so we can set it up like that. And how much can she earn? So the total that we don't know, if she works 28 hours, so it matches with 6. Okay, so cross multiply both sides by 28, you get B as your answer. Which choice is not equivalent to the ratio 1 to 4? Well, if you try to find the simplified version of all these proportions and ratios, you notice that A is different. Number 9. The width and length of a rectangle are in 3 to 7 ratio. The length is 60 centimeters wide. How long is the rectangle? Oh, the width is 60 centimeters wide. Okay, so in this question, width goes with the smaller number in the ratio. So 60 matches with 3. The length matches with 7. And you cross multiply to find that the length is 140 centimeters. And number 10. Stephanie uses the following proportion to determine what amount of sesame oil, S, to use with 300 milliliters of soy sauce in her stir-fry recipe. How many milliliters of sesame oil does Stephanie need? Well, this question, you simply need to solve the proportion by multiplying both sides by 300, or you can cross multiply first. And the final answer is B, 180 milliliters.